Stop buying GPUs for a few days to maybe 2 weeks at least. Crewman here with a quick off-the-cuff video, as the last two videos I wanted to film in the last 2 days both had technical issues that prevented me from releasing them in a timely fashion. And then I saw this fantastic video from Moore's Law, who is usually one of the best leakers out there and is pretty accurate on everything. So please make sure you give him a follow if you're interested in GPU leaks. And majority of the information I'm getting as far as prices, everything, comes from his video. So please reference him as my source material. So we've got the Supers launching next week at CES, which I will be attending. More on that later. So if you are a gamer or a miner, you need to stop buying GPUs right now, at least temporarily, because the 40 series pricing is going to rock the market, at least temporarily, in my opinion. Alright guys, so disclaimer, this is my opinion only, based on a combination of information from Moore's Law is Dead's YouTube channel. Make sure you give him a follow. The specs on Tech Power Up, and my own opinion on basically how the market's been working over the last few months. So am I right? Will I be right or wrong? Who knows? But I feel compelled enough to share this with you, and I feel confident enough in my opinion to bring this to you. Now, I could also be dead wrong, so follow me at your own risk. With that said, please continue to like and subscribe, and support the channel. I am doing fantastic. The growth of the channel has been phenomenal. You guys have been beyond supportive. The march to 3,000 subs continues. I am hoping somehow to hit 3,000 subs during CES week, so maybe we can get those subs. So please like and subscribe and share this with all your friends. And I have some really good content coming along, so stay tuned. Alright, so according to Moore's Law is Dead, here are the following prices. Now remember, these could change at CES because that's happened before. You're looking at a 4070 for a 4070 Super for $599. The 4070 Ti Super. It's never going to get old saying that, and I'm always going to smile. At $799, and the 4080 Super for $1199. Wow. It's like NVIDIA is finally listening to us. So these prices are big, and they're going to shake up the 40 series new and used market in a big way. So stop buying GPUs new or used for a few days at least. CES is next week as of the time of this filming, and wait for the market to settle in, and here's why. Now, again, this is just my prediction, but I think there will be a large short-term price drop across the board. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about how this affects gamers and miners. So first, I'm going to do gaming. So if you're mining and not interested in gaming, skip this part. There'll be timestamps below on the video. All right, so gamers, we all know that as far as the 40 series goes, anything that is under a 4070, 4060 Ti, 4060, etc., they're not real GPUs for gamers. So just don't factor those into the equation and just pretend like they don't even exist. Leave those to the miners and let them have fun with those beyond crappy GPUs. So the 4070 right now, these models can currently be had for a little bit under MSRP if you check Newegg, and especially if you check Amazon Warehouse. I'll have a link down below on shopping with my affiliate code. It helps me and it helps the channel, so I really appreciate if you were to do that, and it costs you nothing. Where you can already have GPUs under MSRP, and I've showed before that Amazon Warehouse is a fantastic place to buy quality GPUs if you don't care about getting a beat-up box. So now if we compare the 4070 Super and the 4070 specs, 4070 is going to be around 15%-ish or better than a 4070, which, you know, from leakers have said that, and you can just kind of tell by looking at Tech Power Up database. Turning that into in layman's terms, as far as gaming performance goes, we can expect a 4070 Super to basically be around a 3080 Ti to a 3090 in terms of gaming performance, but a lot more smaller and a lot more efficient. Now this is ginormous, because it will force the price of the 4070 base model already cheaper than it already is. Could we have them, you know, down to 500 or even less? You can already get 4070s for under $500 if you get lucky and you know where to look on Amazon Warehouse. Now, could this affect the 3080 and the 3090 used prices? I have a feeling that it won't really affect the 3080 or the 3090 too much, but could we have $300 3080s? Because, like, who's going to buy a 3080 when, even though they're a tiny bit better than a 4070, when you can get a 4070 for basically the same price? Now let's look at the 4070 Ti Super. If the 4070 Ti Super is priced at $800, and if comparing the specs to a 3080, it looks like they're they're very, very similar. If it's right below a 3080 in terms of performance and it costs $800, that's going to be ginormous. What is it going to do to the price of the 4080? I bought one for $810 a few months ago, and it was a steal of a deal back then. Could we see 4080s at $700 to $750 on the used market? That would be incredible. What's that going to mean for the price of the 7900 XTX and the 7900 XT? How can a 7900 XTX at $1,000 compare with a 4080 at $800? Now, you can get these regularly for like $900 or so on Amazon, but will it drive the prices even lower? I really, really think it's going to force AMD to drop the prices, which is going to be incredible for gamers because you get $700 7900 XTXs. Could they somehow be even less? Finally, what does this do to the price of the 4070 Ti? You can already find them for mid 600s or so on Amazon Warehouse, and I know GameStop had a bargain basement sale a few weeks ago on them. Do you even consider these for gaming now? I mean, are they even worth it if you can get a 3090 for around $500 or less? If they fall even more, or a 3090 Ti if they get cheaper? I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a really tough sell, especially if the 4070 Ti Super is the rumored MSRP of $800. I don't know. I think this one is going to be one of the GPUs to skip going forward in terms of gaming. Finally, at $1,100, the 4080 Super is interesting. I don't think it's going to affect anything on the lower end as far as gaming goes. I think this is only going to affect the higher end Halo SKUs. You're talking about the people who want a 4090 and who waited too long to buy one, as they're basically unbuyable at MSRP at this moment, unless you hunt like it's 2021. So does that mean that you consider the $1,100 4080 Super? How close is it going to be in gaming performance compared to the 4090? Now, I think we're going to have to wait to see how reviewers test these things and compare them. I unfortunately will not be getting any early review units. I would like to maybe rectify that by the time Blackwell comes out, so stay tuned and hopefully I can pull that off. But I think if you're looking for the 4090 right now, it may make sense just to see how close the 4080 Super gets. Now, I hope any gamers out there who got GPUs during the holiday season are getting ready to pack them up and return them, since you guys have about a month to return most of them if you bought from the big outlets, because prices are going to tank, at least in the short term, and you are going to get much better value, bang for your buck, in terms of GPUs. So the reason I say short term, gamers, this is not something you're going to like to hear, and I would consider skipping this part because we're going to talk about how this affects GPU mining. So miners, this is amazing. These rumored MSRP prices are going to have shocking effects on the mining market. I've been talking about how great the 40 series has been for mining. If you've been following my channel, you'll see all the videos that I've put out on it. But some models were held back by the price. Well, not anymore. Personally, I'll be buying at least one 4070 Ti Super and one 4070 Super to test on mining. I'm really, really excited about the 4070 Ti Super memory bus and the improvement in memory mining or memory algorithms it's going to give us. And at MSRP, this basically kills the 4090 Ti as a worthwhile value proposition for mining, unless you can get it in probably the high 500s or the very, very, very low 600s, but I would say probably mid to high 500s, which ironically will kill the 4070 Ti or will kill the 4070 Super value and maybe even the 4070's value, unless you can get those for around, in the 400s, which if you check Amazon Warehouse, you will see, if you know how to hunt, once in a while you do find those. Now, how do all these price drops affect the 4060 Ti? Well, some of my 4060 Ti videos may not age too well. I honestly don't think the 4060 Ti prices will go down too much because they're already basically at rock bottom. And I think they could still be your target if you cannot spend large sums of money in a large period of time, and you can still find them at $330-ish or so on Amazon Warehouse. Maybe they're not so much of a no-brainer anymore. On the other hand, thanks to the 4080 Super kind of killing the 4080 prices, I think if you could find a 4080 probably in the $700 or $800 price range, thanks to the 4080 Super MSRP, I think they could be one of the biggest bang for buck value. Now, I don't think they're as efficient as a 4070 Ti or a 4070 Ti Super, But in terms of straight power to performance, I think the 4080 at between $700 and $800 will be a fantastic value, and it might be my top target as far as 40 series go. Now, do I think you'll see a lot of them? Probably not, but will it make it the new 40 series mining king? It'll put it up in the top 2 or 3, that's for sure. So I told gamers it's time to return their holiday GPUs because the upcoming market will provide tons of better value for them. Amazon is just proof of how good it can get. This will provide tons of value for miners where we could just start scooping up cheap 4070s, 4070 Ti's, maybe even 4060 Ti's depending on the price. I think we're reaching the end of the buying period for mining, but I think it's going to go out with a bang. If you have money saved up or you can sell some crypto to buy a last hurrah of GPUs, I think this is when you do it. I think these price points are going to be cannot miss price points, and I think if you don't buy them when you can, you're going to really regret it in a few months. Now, obviously, only buy them if you can afford them, and if you can't, do not worry about it, and just be happy with what you have because everybody will be making profits in the next few months, in my opinion. So what are the price points that I would look to stick at as far as buying the 40 series? Well, I think for a 4070, I would be looking at mid to low 400s. For a 4070 Ti, I'd probably be looking at mid to high 500s. 4060 Ti's, I wouldn't be buying these for any more than $315, $330 on Amazon Warehouse. Otherwise, just start moving up to the 4070s. 4070 Ti Super at MSRP will be a fantastic buy, and I would be buying those as well if density is an issue for you, or you just want basically one of the best bang for buck and you want new. I would absolutely be scooping up the 4070 Ti Super at MSRP. The 4070 Super, honestly, I think this is going to fit into a weird price point. I think if they're going to launch these at $600, I don't think you buy them, at least in the short term, if you can get good deals on 4070 Ti's. It just kind of doesn't make sense, actually. The 4080 is the dark horse in all of this. If these things somehow drop to $700 on the used market, I would be scooping these up as many as you could get. And I would probably avoid the 4080 Super at MSRP, as I just don't think it's worth it, especially with how low the prices of the rest of the 40 series are going. And the 4090, I don't know. I don't think I'd be buying it unless you can get it super cheap, and you're not able to get those things super cheap. So I think I would just stay to the low end of the 40 series SKU, even if density is a concern for you. Again, miners, I know I've said otherwise before, but stop buying GPUs right now. I know Amazon series can be Amazon Warehouse can be tempting, but just hold off. And certainly don't buy 30 series anymore. The time to buy those has passed, unless you're getting 3070s for like $200 or less, which I doubt you are anymore. Now maybe you can, and if you can, don't listen to this. But like I said, I think the time has passed to buy these, even the $250 3060 Ti's. I think you're just better off spending more money and getting 40 series at this point, because I think you're going to get to the point where the 40 series is quickly going to go up in price to buy in value, because unless we are talking dumb, stupid prices, I am done buying the 30 series for mining. Short-term pricing is going to be a boom for the 40 series, and I think it's time to take advantage of it before it goes away. For gamers and for miners, how long will this pricing boom last? Honestly, it depends how fast the super models sell out. Based on what Moore's Law was saying, he thinks that it'll be a small batch, which means that we probably aren't going to have as big of a long-term bump as we thought. And honestly, I think this means that we could see a shortage kind of on the horizon. I think we could see a GPU shortage starting in maybe March or April. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I really, really hope I'm wrong. But so far, the initial signs are kind of pointing to it's leading that way. Now, again, that's just my opinion, and take it with a grain of salt. So thank you guys for watching this video. It is a fantastic time to be a miner, a gamer, or just a PC enthusiast in general. Please like and subscribe for more content. Again, I'm going to have a lot of great content coming out at CES next week. The March to 3000 continues. Recruit Man